Hello, everyone. Welcome to a new episode. To what? I don't need this. No one. We are out of quarantine. I'm vaccinated. Camera guy. I don't need this. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Hood Summerly here pouring for you. Glad to see you guys. I've been out. I've been in quarantine. I've done some live shows. You can check out my live shows called Monday Sucks on the channel. But we stayed at home all 2020. Now we're in the middle of 2021, and I was sitting in my library and I looked around and I'm like, I wonder how many bottles people missed while they're in quarantine. I remember during last year, I stood online, we all wearing masks in the cold or just social distancing and trying to find a bottle. So quickly, without any preference, these are bottles that I've had or acquired through the quarantine that I thought I would share with you guys. Now that we are all walking outside, we're still, we're meeting those people, we are meeting those store owners. I truly believe this is the time now for you guys to talk to that person. And if you miss those bottles, maybe there's a chance for you to get it. So without any further ado, let me make sure we start with my hometown, American bourbon whiskeys. During 2020, there have been a lot of bourbon that came out, a lot of rye that came out. And I would tell you something, there was so much, but I'm gonna start with the first bourbon that I actually found at the beginning of the quarantine. I believe it was right in May or June. And it was from Angel Envy. Funny thing is, Angel Envy cask strength comes out every year, and this Angel Envy cask strength was just delicious. Beautiful aromas. I had a chance at that time. I've braved the quarantine and decided to go to Kentucky, and guess what? This was right there waiting for me, and I picked it up at Angel Envy. It's a 2020 Angel Envy cask strength. Absolutely was good. If you don't find it, or if you're out there in the store, make sure you grab it. It's absolutely delicious. Let's go to the next bottle. Let's go to Wild Turkey. Wild Turkey released their special edition of the 2003 Wild Turkey, right? 2003. This came, I believe, a few years back. And Russel's Reserve, people probably have the store pick, have had, the regular Russel Reserve. But this one obviously is a special project that comes maybe once every 5-7 years, if I'm wrong. I mean, maybe 5-7 years, because I think the last one was back in 2000. Pretty sure back in 2017, that they actually had it. But you want to check this thing out. This thing is sleek, beautiful bottle design, right? Beautiful bottle design. Just look amazing. Come with a box. Beautiful. I was able to snag this. I believe the retail cost at that time was about $169, $170. And I was very happy because it was just sitting there in the store in the middle of quarantine, and I was able to snag it. So that's another bottle you guys need to look for. Speaking of Wild Turkey, I would say my absolute favorite bottle, I would give a bottle of the year as bourbon this year, was the Wild Turkey 17. Wild Turkey 17 bottle and bond was probably my all-time favorite bottle. If you look at it, Wild Turkey knows how to put a bottle together. Beautiful design. If you look at how it's made, I just love the bottle itself. But the Masterkeep Wild Turkey comes out every year, and every year they just try to come up with something so extraordinary and so cool that when you just, the juice is so amazing that it throws you off. I have all the Masterkeep, but this one I can tell you, I ran and found duplicates of it because it was just this beautiful, amazing bottle and bond Wild Turkey. And honestly, I don't buy a lot of Wild Turkey, but the Masterkeep and the Russel Reserve is always what I actually love. This right here is probably the best jewel of 2020 when it comes to bourbon, in my opinion, obviously. If you're sitting anywhere, you will have heard that Old Forester. Old Forester from Brown-Forman has came out with their anniversary bottle. And this was probably the most sought after bottle in 2020. Everybody wanted a piece of this bottle. It was hard to get, but it pays to have good friends, right? My buddy that's a store owner, I've been telling him I really want this bottle. And we'll have some reviews later on of these bottles that you see here. The the Masterkeep that you saw, that was probably my first review that I've done last year in 2020. I'll make sure to put it in the description. But Old Forester 150. I'm telling you, Old Forester came up with 3 release of the Old Forester 150. It was 3 batch that was released. They were all at cask strength or a barrel strength. These 3 Old Forester here are a gem. They are, I had a chance to taste them, batch 1, 2, and 3, and I'm telling you, I really don't like Old Forester being barrel strength, but this one, when you open it and let it sit for some time, the taste come back. It was, their 150th anniversary. They were opened in 1870. It's 2020. It was just a perfect year to release something so special from Old Forester. And for Old Forester lovers, I can tell you right now, if you don't own these one and skip the birthday bourbon, you want these ones. These are truly a work of art. Let them sit, like I said, and you actually won't regret it. If you had too much money in 2020, you have heard of this bottle, right? This bottle, probably the most beautiful box in the whiskey industry. I will tell you right now, the most beautiful box is the Kentucky Owl Dry State. And the reason why I only have the box is I actually asked for the box. Kentucky Owl, unfortunately, this year will be the last year for Kentucky Owl. It's a sad day. I love the Kentucky Owl, but I will tell you right now, the Kentucky Owl Dry State is, I only had 2 ounces of it, poured it. It's probably one of the most expensive bottles, but I can definitely say the box says it all. The box's design is heavy, very heavy. It's just this beautiful bourbon that was made. I look at it usually, 1820 is their anniversary, the 1820 to 2020. Dixon did an amazing job. Let me see. If you look at it, I only have a 2-ounce pour of it here. And if you look at this bottle, just amazing design. You can read through it, hear the history of the dry state. They will tell you the history of the dry state. If you close it, it's probably one of those things you can literally set on your desk. That's just amazing. But I love the juice. I'm sad to see Kentucky Owl go. But if I have a whopping $750, I would say pick up this bottle. It's probably one of the beautiful things you can put on your shelf. Do I personally believe the juice is worth $750 where I saw it? No, absolutely not. But is it something that you can flex with as a bourbon flexer? Yes, definitely. You can flex with this one. We're gonna stay with Kentucky Owl and really talk about one of the release this year that actually made me sad, and is the Kentucky Owl Rye 10, called the last batch. If you look on it, it's called the last batch, and it's because it's truly the last batch of Kentucky Owl Rye that is coming out. You can hear it in my voice. Kentucky Rye Batch 1 was actually my first introduction to rye. And I really, really, truly love Kentucky Rye. And when I saw this last batch, I actually bought a couple of them because I truly believe this was just a work. It's just a work of art. It's amazing. It's a work of art. So If you don't want to miss out, if you're a Kentucky Owl Rye lover and you do not want to miss out on it, I would tell you, pick up the last batch. It's a little higher up in price, but this is worth it. This is something you want to keep definitely for the years coming. There is some brands that you may have missed as well that I like to say are small batch brands that most people haven't heard of, but if you look at anything, you realize that, oh, maybe that brand is something that I need to look at or look for. They're making small batch, but they're making amazing product, and they're coming up with new ways to make bourbon or make their rye. I'm talking about Four Gates. If you never heard of Four Gate is a Kentucky bourbon released at the beginning of 2020 or 19 getting to 2020. I've heard about it by a friend of mine, my co-host on my show, that said you need to try Four Gate, and I tried it. And I also had Four Gates on the show. I will put a description here and a tag here where you can actually go and see our interview with Four Gates. He's almost like a mad scientist, coming up with new ways to make bourbon, and they are changing the cooperage, and they're changing the stave in the barrel to bring new things to the bourbon industry, and I like it. I hate to say it, but I like it. I'm not a guy who run after new stuff. I stick to what I know, but honestly, I love this. So there you go. This Four Gate, you may have missed that in 2020. I really want you to take a look at it. You may be surprised.